Yo, what's good? It is your boy, episode 11. We're doing it. We're out here. If you're watching on YouTube right now, you see how fucking American I am. I'm recording this on July 4th, the day of our nation's independence. We've been repping this country for, geez, I'm not that good at math, but it's getting up there, isn't it? 200 and, are we almost at 250? What's the math on that? They'll let me know. As a country, they'll let us know. Yeah, here we are. It's July 4th. I got an American flag behind me here on the couch. I got a cut off shirt that I bought at a Walmart years back that says American freedom, home of the brave, and a huge ass fucking American eagle on that bitch. You know how we're doing it. I got a fucking camouflage hat that's got a Chevrolet logo on the front of it, and I'm wearing it backwards just because at any point I could leave this fucking podcast and go fishing. You know what I mean? What are you doing to celebrate? Somebody better be on a lake right now as I'm recording this. Obviously, you're going to be listening to this after the 4th has already transpired, but if you didn't spend the 4th near a body of water, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean? This is also the best holiday. You could argue July 4th is the best holiday because it's always the 4th of July, and sometimes that motherfucker will hit like right in the middle of the week. This one's on a Tuesday. Let it be a Wednesday. That whole week is done. No business is occurring that entire week. If you're a owner-operator, you're shutting that bitch down. You're getting hammered drunk. As long as you do, if you know how to live. You know what I mean? And so you got Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And if you're a real one, who's really working on a Friday? You know what I mean? That's a 5-day weekend if you kind of finesse it the right way. Kind of sneak out halfway through that Thursday. We're talking, you got 5.5 days there. You're cooking with gas. A lot of petrol right there. So shout out to July 4th, one of the sneakiest, best holidays out there. Obviously, also, I love it because it's just happening in this country. We're just repping it hard. This isn't going around in the world. They're definitely not fucking repping this one in England. I'll tell you that right now. But it's just as American as it gets. We do some great things. We're like, well, what should we do to celebrate? And every year they're like, what about just fucking throwing up mini explosives in the sky once the sun goes down? Bring your children out. Let them see that shit. That shit's great. I don't know who started fireworks, but that's a fucking awesome, just an amazing thing that I'll watch over and over again. And honestly, every single time I've watched fireworks, I've never walked away like, that was spectacular. I'm always underwhelmed. There's usually about 10 minutes of it that's like, this is the same firework. This is the same scheme that they've been using for the past 2-3 minutes, and they're just kind of repeating it. You get the one that blows up and then blows up into mini blow ups. We've seen that one. You get some of them are just straight up. This is just going to be a rocket in the air, and it's going to blow up in different colors. We've seen that one a lot too. Some of them explode and then they do the razzle dazzle as they fade. That's kind of fun. But really, there's about 10-12 minutes of that firework display that's pretty regular. The only thing that really elevates it is the soundtrack. You get some fucking GNR going, dude. Some Guns N' Roses. Fucking good old Americana rock and roll. That shit is fun. That can really elevate the visuals. As with anything, I think we're talking last time with David Fincher films, Trent Reznor's going to elevate that film. You give me some fireworks, put some fucking Axl Rose on that bitch, we're going to have a good time. Almost always you put Guns N' Roses on, we're going to have a good time. You know what I mean? And then really it just builds up to that final display of just really what you finally understand as an adult is they're really just packaging all the things that they had throughout the previous 10 minutes, and they're just going to let them go pretty much simultaneously. And it's going to be a barrage of all the different fireworks that they have. And it's gonna end, and you're gonna walk back to your car like, okay, I guess that's, hey, ain't that America? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? But shout out to July 4th. I am reminded sometimes how American I am on holidays like this. I own this shirt. You know what I mean? I have a sleeveless shirt that says America on it with a fucking aggressive ass American eagle on this shit. You kidding me? Let's fucking go. I actually bought this because it was a character that we had in a show called Literally the Worst Show Ever in Phoenix, Arizona. We ran it for about 4 or 5 years, and we had a recurring character called Randy Buckshank. Randy Buckshank was from Lickskillet, Tennessee. Randy Buckshank he had a cousin that was transgender, turned his innie into an outie, if you know what I mean. And Randy Buckshank was a registered nurse, and that was a good character. Randy was a very very solid character, and he also loved America. And I googled the craziest town names in America, and there's a place called Lickskillet, Tennessee. You better believe that. Somebody licked skillet, ran for mayor, you know, and that's how town names happen sometimes. But yeah, the 4th of July definitely is a good thing for eating. You're going to be eating today. I was trying to think in my mind, what is better, a hot dog or a burger? And after not a lot of thought, I came to the conclusion that a burger is always better than a hot dog. Like, I understand the consistency of a hot dog. You get a good fucking hot dog, it is solid. But you can't ever take that hot dog to a different level. A good burger, can change your perspective on life. You know what I mean? A solid fucking burger will sit you down and be like, dude, I should call my father, tell him I love him. You know what I mean? You're never going to get that from a hot dog unless you had, you know, a relationship with your father that should probably be talked about in therapy. If a hot dog going into your throat makes you think you should call your father, that's something else. That's something you got to deal with. And I hope you do. But a burger? You kidding me? A fucking good ass juicy burger, just done proper. You know, it's a crazy thing. I've had a few burgers. A lot of the best burgers I've ever had are actually on a grill at somebody's house. Some dude just has the right recipe. I got Uncle Duff that it's a Korean burger, I want to say. There's some, I don't know if it's soy sauce or some type of sauce he puts in that bitch, and a couple of different things. It's fucking crazy. Crazy burger. My brother makes a fucking fantastic burger, passed down from my father, called the Turner Burger. I actually don't know what he does in that. He should tell me more about that as a member of the family. But it's a good fucking burger. He does that real well. Just a good burger. I think about these things a lot. Which is crazy. I heard somebody was recently doing a joke. Nick Kroll was doing a joke on stage I saw recently where he was like, he hates on people that say that the place has a good burger because it's really, they did a good job of putting meat and cheese together on a bun. That's crazy. That's hard to do. But I'll tell you right now, I've had fucking bad burgers. Okay? That'll ruin your week. That'll fucking disappoint you. My father taught me one thing about the litmus test of a new restaurant that you go into. If you want to see what they're about as a whole, get the fucking burger and see if they care about that. Because if they care about the burger, then they care about a lot of other things. So a good burger goes a long way for me. I fucking love a good burger. LA's got some banger burgers. Burgers 99, fucking A. Obviously In-N-Out is everywhere. Dude, we can get out in LA, we get fucking chili burgers is a thing that have not been familiar with. Shout out to Tommy's. During the pandemic, dude, I put on about 15, 17 pounds. Just crushing chili burgers. And I actually don't regret that at all. Those were all good decisions. And I'll come back to you soon, Tommy. You're the fucking man. Wish I would have met you. He's a dead man now, obviously. He ate too many chili burgers. No way he lived past 62. Other things you're probably doing for the 4th. I don't know if people are hitting parades still. Is that a thing? I'm a 36-year-old single male. Obviously, I'm in a relationship, but you know what I mean. I'm not married. I don't have kids. So I'm not hitting a lot of parades. The first parade I've been to in a long ass time was the Cincinnati Reds opening day parade recently, and you are really reminded that that thing's moving about 1-2 miles per hour, and there's not a lot of stuff going on. You're just looking at 8-year-olds on a truck. Kind of, honestly, the one thing that came to my mind looking at the parade is you got a bunch of people on vehicles, and I'm not great with words, but that seems like that's human trafficking. You know what I mean? That cars going slow with about 10 to 12 9-year-olds in them. That seems illegal, based on my surface level knowledge of the term. But not that exciting. I remember thinking they were cool when I was 7, 8, 9 years old. I am 36, and you got to be pretty drunk and high for a parade to be cool. And you probably don't have to focus on the parade to be having a good time. You know what I mean? There's got to be some other stuff going on. Maybe a fist fight in the park nearby. That could be cool. That sounds like a fun parade. That could be a memory we create. Something like that. I've never been in a parade, so maybe that's why I don't love parades. I think that's a sham. I should have, at this point, been in a parade, been involved in a parade, been on a float, something like that. That sounds fun. That sounds like the way to experience a parade, which is kind of weird. Instead of looking at the vehicles with people in it, you're in the vehicle looking at people with vehicles with people in it. That sounds like, I don't know if is that a paradox? I'm not sure what that word means, but that's pretty crazy. I just did something crazy with my brain there. Almost triggered out here. Almost passed out with that last sentence. So I apologize if anybody else was confused there. But I should be involved in a parade, is really what I'm saying here. And I think it's a sham that I've lived this long and not been involved in a parade. My goal in life is to be the man at the Reds opening day parade. I think that's a healthy goal. That's my only goal in life. No, I'm kidding. I got some other stuff I want to do along the way. But definitely something that I'd like to do. So this is me manifesting right now. Shout out to the city of Cincinnati. I would make you proud as shit. I'd fucking start drinking at like 8 or 9 with the homies, and just be lit up like a Christmas tree on whatever car you wanted to put me on. I'd be on anything. I got this hat, so if it was a Chevy, that'd be cool. But just let me know what you think I should be on, and I'll drive it. I'll be drunk as shit, but I keep it 2 miles per hour. What are we talking about? That's 10 and 2. That's easy. I one hand that wave at people. I'll drive. So that'd be a fun way to get to do us. Also, the closest I ever got to being a parade, I think I was whatever age you're at in T-ball. Was that 5 years old, 6 years old, something like that? In Cincinnati, Ohio, in Montgomery, they had a parade in downtown Montgomery every year, and the All-Star T-ball game was the end of the parade at whatever park that was, right there in the corner by the police station. And I didn't get chosen. 2 people got chosen from each team, and I was not chosen. And I don't know, I don't want to point fingers, but I know that the one, it was a co-ed situation. So you had boys and girls on the team, and the only boy selected was the son of the coach. And I'm just here to call it what it is, and that was bullshit. I think we all know that was bullshit. Kid's name is Bobby Dye. His father's Bob Dye. He was the speed instructor for Cincinnati. If anybody in Cincinnati, Ohio, throughout the early 90s and into the late 90s wanted to get faster on their feet, Bob Dye was going to teach you how to do it. I think that was a sham too, probably. I don't think that, if you're fast or you're fast. I don't know what he's going to tell you about how to position your hands where what are you going to do? Catch up to Usain Bolt because you went to Bob Dye's speed training? And and his son was the shortstop. Not great hands. I think he couldn't turn two. I'll tell you that right now. Slap hitter, not really a power guy. He's going opposite field on some singles. Like whatever. I could do that too. I was a better hitter, and I was a better looking 6-year-old. I could have represented the team way better in a public forum like that on that parade. So I thought that was bullshit, and I still think that's bullshit. And then the other person chosen, I think, was a female, and this is that's just that's sexism, is what it is. This is before. This is that glass ceiling they're trying to break, and I don't even. You know how bad the female was that was chosen? I don't even remember her name. She clearly wasn't in the middle of the lineup, like I was. I was like a 1-2 hitter. I had speed. You're not getting those runs in if I'm not leading off, getting on base, and that's just what it is, and that's just what it is. Okay, so. These are things I think about a lot. But yeah, haven't been in a parade is what I'm trying to tell you. And I think that's bullshit. But here I am as a 36-year-old red-blooded American or blue-blooded American. What is it? Red, white, and blue-blooded American? If I had white blood, that'd be concerning. I know I have white blood cells. And honestly, when I really think about that, that sounds concerning. But doctors have always said that that's normal. But God bless this country, God bless. And I know for sure, being born in 1986 as a white male in America, come on now. I was born on a boulevard of green lights. This is a great place to be born as a white man in 1986. We're out here doing it. I feel bad for these kids nowadays trying to make it like I did. I was skating through I was smooth sailing, baby. I could do no wrong in the middle of America. You know what I mean? So shout out to this country and all its flaws for, just raising me to the top. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely reminded of how American I am in certain things. Like I live in LA now, obviously, and this city makes me feel real American. Cause I'm from Ohio, Cincinnati. And then I lived in Arizona for like 15 years. Arizona's like, I don't even know how to describe Arizona accurately in how it, like, it's, the white people in Arizona are a different shade of white. That's what I'm saying. They are fucking, and I grew up in Ohio with a bunch of Republicans and shit like that. Dude, Arizona Republicans? You fucking kidding me? Arizona's crazy. You could pull up to you go to a Circle K, get a fucking Slurpee or something like that, dude. You'll see two guys walking in there with an open carry thing. You know what I mean? Just on their belt, they got a fucking Glock or a pistol or something like that. And these guys look like they will use it. You know what I mean? Or just try to run you up on a fucking game of billiards down the street. And then if they lose that game, they're gonna fucking use it again. You know what I'm saying? They're ready to fucking shoot somebody. But I loved living in Arizona. Definitely a good perspective on America. But now I'm in LA, and LA's like, the funny thing about LA is LA thinks that they live in America, but I don't live in America. I live in LA. This is like a bubble that is not this country at all. These people think that the issues that they're trying to fight for and shit like that matter outside of this city. No, they do not matter to America. You know what I mean? Like, I'm all for like a lot of the things that have been super pushed over the last 8-10 years and shit like that, like gay marriage or the rights of transgender people and stuff like that. Like I get that all that is important for sure in big cities in America, but you would think that that's the fucking thing that'll end this country to some of these people, and it's just not the case. Go to fucking Omaha and go find a dude that knocked his wife up in his fucking late teens ended up fucking having like a family of 5. He owns some farm that he's fucking underwater on. He's just trying to fucking teach his kid how to hit a 4-seam fastball, because the only way that he's going to get out of this debt that he's created, because he still owns a farm in fucking Omaha and not going to make any goddamn money in this country anymore, because the world has changed and the way that we fucking, consume things is completely different. So a guy like that ain't making money off of this thing that his family's been making money off for fucking generations. Go talk to that guy. See if he's prioritizing the rights of a gay man in his life. You know what I mean? That ain't it. He's worried about fucking making ends meet and trying to fucking figure out how to make it for his family and shit like that. So this, like LA, like places like Oakland, I call it Wokeland, to like Brooklyn, these communities, like, they act like certain issues are like the fucking end all be all of this country and shit like that. And it's like, it's not like that. Go experience this country a little bit more. It's fucking simple people that are just trying to fucking make ends meet and are not making shit anymore, and it's all fucked. I think it's an interesting place, and I sometimes I'm like, I'm just trying to, me, if you know my stand up and shit like that, I'm just trying to talk shit, have a good time, cross some lines, maybe make people a little bit uncomfortable. I'm as aware of social issues as anybody. I'm super, like, on all of those things, I agree completely that people should be treated the right way and people should have all the same opportunities and shit like that. Like, I get that. But, like, to make that shit seem like that's the fucking only issue that matters in this country, that shit always pisses me off. And that's when I'm like, fucking, that's when my American comes out. That's when my middle America shit comes out. And, it's always interesting living in places like this. It's like, y'all need to chill out. You need to chill out. But, that's living right now. That's the country that we live in. There's pockets of it that think that they're out here changing the world, and it's like, no, you're just being annoying, is what you're doing. Real annoying, and you're doing it loudly. And you think that there's a bunch of you on here because you got a community on Twitter that all retweet your shit. But that ain't happening, sweetheart. That ain't it. But it is funny, like, living out here. I'm reminded of where I'm from. And it's funny, I'm not even like, I'm the only person in my family that was born in Cincinnati, born and raised in Cincinnati. Not to say, like, my brother and sister were definitely, like, raised in Cincinnati. They were born in Manhattan, though. I was supposed to be born and raised in New York City, or, like, upstate New York City. I would have been, like, I think we would have lived in, like, I don't know. We would have had a fucking life like a Steely Dan song. Those fucking, I forget what towns they are, like Scarsdale and shit like that. Whatever is, like, up past, once you get out of the city on a couple of trains. The type of shit that Don Draper lived in Mad Men, shit like that. And that could have been my life, but I was born in Ohio, so I was raised around these motherfuckers, and definitely a different perspective on everything there. And it is interesting though. But my dad was from L.A., and so I have a unique perspective on have a worldly perspective on the country, I guess, from my upbringing. Though my dad was born and raised in L.A., and then his family was from Texas too originally, and then my mother is from Brooklyn. So I have my parents are both from both coasts. They met in Chicago, figure that out. And then my mother's side of the family, her, like, historically, what they did was they came over on boats from Ireland in the late 1800s, and they landed in New York City, and they opened a bar in Brooklyn. And if that ain't America, I don't know what the fuck is. That's the American story right there. You know what I mean? It's fucking bunch of people that were like, well, I'm an alcoholic in Ireland. What if I came to America and I made money off of being an alcoholic? And that's capitalism. I think that's what we're all trying to do. But I definitely got to have that different perspective. And then I was raised in Cincinnati, in a small town where they're both from big cities. And you kind of get a little bit of everything. Like, I always felt like I wasn't really like I'm definitely a Cincinnatian, but like I always felt like I wasn't a true one because a lot of people from Cincinnati are from there like generationally, like fucking 4 or 5 generations of people who live in Cincinnati. But I wasn't like that. You know, I was raised almost with like an East Coast mentality because my mom, if you talk shit, she'd fucking talk shit right back. She'd slap you in the face, you know? And I'm not accusing her of anything. I ain't calling a fucking, what's it called? The CPD or whatever it is, Child Protection something something. But no, I'm not like it is what it is. It was just that's how we were raised. It was East Coast. She called me fresh all the time. I never heard anybody else say the words fresh, but that just meant that I was talking too much shit. Fucking, you're fresh is what you are. And you know, we had but that upbringing definitely helped me have a good perspective on the whole country though, because you get the East Coast sensibilities too. I go back east. We talk to their family. They're just a bunch of East Coast crazy liberals, shit like that. My dad was probably more of a liberal, and then as he got older, he turned into a Rush Limbaugh type, Mike Savage, all that shit. So I listened to all that type of radio when I was in the car with him, and you just get the perspectives of both sides, and you know, that's the beauty about this country is we all have like you can be. At least when I was growing up, that's actually what I sometimes hate about it now is like people can't have conversations with somebody that doesn't agree with you or shit like that. It's like that's the person I want to have the most conversation with because that's interesting to me. How did you come to this point where you think that way? What happened in your life that made you think that that's the way to think? Because I think the exact opposite of that. But at the end of the day, we're both sitting here drinking Bud Light. You know what I mean? Even and they're pro-gay, so figure that out. Shout out to Bud Light also. I don't even know what's going on with them. I was reading something recently that they're still losing money. People are still not buying Bud Light because there was a transgender in an advertisement during March. What the fuck is going on? Give me all the Bud Light you got. If you got some fucking Bud Light hanging around the crib, send me that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'll cut my dick off right now. Start drinking that shit for free. I wouldn't cut my dick off, but you know, I think about it for free Bud Light for the rest of my life. Shit, would I even need my dick? I don't think that shit would work if I just had that. So, but yeah, it's a beautiful country. So I'm going on an America rant, but you know, it is what it is. It's a great country. This country's so great. You know what my favorite thing about this country is? That it's a lot like us. The America is a lot like every single person and every individual in this country. You know what I'm saying? They can't handle a checkbook. I'll tell you that right now. They're in debt just like me. I'm like, dude, these guys are in debt by trillions of dollars, dude. Hello. We're the same. You know what I mean? I get it, dude. I've borrowed money from a Chinese friend before too. You know what I mean? And he's taxing me now. And I am in debt. And it's concerning. But I know he's too weak to actually go to war with me. You know what I'm saying? This is the same shit that I go through every day. They also lie the same way that we lie. That's one of my favorite things about America. When this is how I lie at work. And they lie the same way that people lie at work. Like on your day job or whatever like that. If you have to lie, my perspective on it always is this. You got to make the lie so big that you can't question the lie. And that's exactly what America does. The same shit I do when I lie at work. When I call my boss, like you can't just say like, I got a bad cough and I can't come in. I can't come in. I got a weak cough. No, you can't do that bullshit. You got to fucking lie so much that you can't question the lie. You got to be like, dude, daddy's got explosive diarrhea and it's coming out both sides. I'm fucking shitting out my eyeballs right now. Shit like that. Like, and then you got to be like, I'll send a picture if you want. I'll send a picture. And they were like, dude, do not send a picture. I don't want to see that at all. Take 2 days off. You know what I mean? You got to make the lie so big that you can't even fucking question the shit, which is what America does all the time. Shout out to JFK. Shout out to 9/11. You know what I'm saying? You got to fucking make the lie so fucking big. It's like, dude, we didn't fucking. We didn't kill JFK. This guy, it was a one-man show. Lee Harvey Oswald did it. He did it all by himself. And we're like, damn, yeah. Checks out, dude. He's got a picture of him with the newspaper and that gun in his hand. Seems pretty legit to me. I don't see anything fishy here. You know what I mean? 9/11, it's just a couple fucking, 15, 20 Arab dudes. Osama bin Laden planned the whole thing. Did it all. You know what I'm saying? And then we were like, well, what if Saddam Hussein was involved in it? Let's start a fucking war, baby. It's just big lies, big enough lies where you're sitting there like as a country, you're like, yeah, they wouldn't be lying about that, would they? It's all just explosive diarrhea. That's all it is. Shout out to 9/11. You guys know I got some YouTube links for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying Bush did it. I'm just saying without Barbara Bush's pussy, those buildings are still standing. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Bush dynasty. You ever want to read a good book? What is it called? Oh, shit. It's about the Bush family, and it's a good one. And it also covers some Kennedy stuff. If you guys want to get into it. One of my favorite presidents of all time, George W. Bush. That's, speaking of America, one of the most American-made men in the world. So much so that I don't even think he wanted to be president. That dude just wanted to be a party boy, alcoholic, with a nasty little coke problem. But he was born in the wrong fucking family. All of a sudden, he's 52, turned into the president. You know what I mean? Like, goddamn, I didn't even want to do this. And I got to fucking lie about this shit and start a war? Goddamn. But, that's some fun stuff. Shout out to Building 7. Buildings don't fall like that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Thermite. But God bless this country. I love it. I still love it. I'm talking about a lot of flaws in this country, but God damn it, I love it. It's my favorite. It's my favorite place for sure. The beautiful thing about this country is people can be like, man, this place fucking sucks, and then you really step back and you realize that, sure, it sucks, but it sucks so much less than every other place. I think maybe Switzerland might have us. They got fucking universal health care, and I think all their women are fertile, blonde, 120 pounds, great rack. Yeah, that's a good country. I don't think I don't know. Again, I haven't done a lot of research there, but they might have a slight edge. But I mean, other than that, we're doing the damn thing, Like I went to like Europe. Went to like Amsterdam's cool, but do you need to do mushrooms every day? I don't know if that's the move. Prostitutes and mushrooms, and also all these places we still got better food. At the end of the day, if the equalizer is like, also we have prostitutes and mushrooms here, you just got to do it on the low and not be an idiot. You know what I'm saying? It's like just because it's legal there doesn't mean it's better, And then where was I? I was in France, pretty filthy place. I like wine, though. Food was good. I'll give them that. But, I don't know. It didn't do it for me. Not better than here. England, it's just that food was shit. Let's say England is equal to us. But England's like the same as us now. They got all the same fucking issues as us. Most of these countries have the same issues as us, is what you'll realize. And if it's all equal, same issues as us, same economical shit as us, same, social issues for the most part as us, stuff like that. Some of them are a little ahead of us or behind us on some of the social issues, but a lot of the same social issues. If it's all the same, we got better food. You know what I mean? Did you hear what I said earlier about the chili burgers? Like, they're not doing that. We got good fucking Wagyu beef. I don't even think that's from here. I think that's actually from Japan, but we do it better. And they don't make the mashed potatoes like we do. Fucking Outback Steakhouse, we got that everywhere. That's fine dining in a lot of these places. You know what I mean? That's mid stuff here. Fucking Ruth's Chris, Morton's. What are we talking about? Fucking Brazilian Steakhouse. We take your culture and we elevate that shit. We take it to a completely different level. So, all things considered, we got ribs. We got dry rub. They're not doing it like that. I had a burger in England, dude. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? That's probably why I didn't like that country. You talking about burgers earlier, dude? A great burger will change your perspective on shit. A bad burger, same shit, dude. It fucks your whole thing up, dude. I remember that burger in England. Just fucking proper shit, mate. That's what it was. Trash. I don't fucking trust that country. I did like being in those countries, though. Again, take me outside of this country, and I'm reminded of how much I am an American in these other countries. Like, dude, I was in Paris. Fucking, they were trying to tell me, like, this thing over here is like it's the tower of the, what is it called? The thing that Napoleon came through, when, they would win wars and shit like that. And the Arc de Triomphe, they called it. And I'm sitting here, I'm looking at that. I'm like, dude, is that the thing that Tom Cruise rode a motorcycle around backwards in Mission Impossible 6? Yeah, just fucking say that. You know what I'm saying? Give me real fucking reference points I can use to figure out what the fuck's going on in this country. That's what that is. I don't know if that's the Arc de Triomphe. No, that's fucking the Arc de Tom Cruise. Okay? That's what the fuck that is. I don't know how to break it to you any clearer. Speaking of which, speaking of Tom Cruise, I've never been more excited in my life for a film than next week. Tom Cruise coming out with Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. You kidding me? Because I know there's going to be a Part 2. That's great. That's exciting. Mission Impossible 6 Fallout, probably one of my favorite action movies I've ever seen in my life. It's fucking great. And a lot of people are like, damn, you think it's better than all the other ones? Yeah, I actually do. I think Mission Impossible 1 is so different than all of them. It's like a completely different movie. It's like a spy thriller thing like that it might be arguably better than them all. It could just get Brian De Palma, all that shit. But, dude, what the Mission Impossible stand for in my mind, dude, Mission Impossible 6 was fucking amazing. This next one, dude, I already seen the fucking previews, dude. He's in a motorcycle fucking going straight off the cliff, dude. Go watch that fucking video on Tom Cruise's account. You kidding me? He did it like 2-3 times, and they said it was perfect, and Cruise looked at the director, and he's like, we're running it back one more time. I'm like, dude, what the fuck is going on, dude? So I don't think I've ever been more excited for a film since, like, last time I was this excited was when I was like a teenager and Lord of the Rings was coming out. And I remember they were like Part 1. And you knew over the next 3 years that you were going to see Part 2 and 3. And you're like, dude, this is going to be crazy. I was so excited. I remember The Hobbit and shit like that, but I didn't know a lot of the story. But I was like, dude, there's going to be some fucking dragons. I didn't know there was going to be flying eagles. Should have fucking led with that. You know what I mean? But yeah, I was excited as a teenager. But now I'm a 36-year-old fucking man in America. Tom Cruise is coming out with another Mission Impossible film in IMAX. Let's fucking go, dude. Can't fucking wait. But speaking of America too, in my life, what's going on with me? Last week I went to Catalina Island. That's America. That's a fun little excursion if you're in Southern California. I don't know if you heard of it, but the Catalina wine mixer is super. Oh, flags dropping down. I don't know if that's disrespectful to our country. I don't know if this is disrespectful to our country. It's on my couch, the American flag right now. I don't know what you can't disrespect the flag in certain ways. You can't touch the ground. You got to fold it the right way. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I've had this thing folded up in a plastic bag in my closet for a long time. I still love this country. You know what I mean? I don't think that's a real thing. What's gonna happen? Is somebody gonna fucking arrest me? I'm sorry that now this is documented. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm doing the right thing with the flag here. It's on a couch right now behind me, laying over some cushions. My bad. God bless America. I watch a lot of baseball. I think it makes up for it. But I did go to Catalina Island. Great place. A little Americana. Little slice of Americana. Little island that years ago somebody was like, let's fucking make this a thing that people go to. I think Wrigley either bought it or the guy that made the gum Is that what Wrigley is? Wrigley only wealthy because of the gum? I'm not sure about that. I feel like there has to be more than gum that made that family that wealthy. You can't just buy the Cubs based on that gum. That gum's pretty regular. Um, but Catalina, they got it all. You could just fucking you go on a boat from Long Beach, hour and 15 minutes. You're on a fucking island. They got parasailing, zip lining. You can go see some buffalo. There's some shallow water for some submarines, which were not very busy last week based on the fact that billionaires died in a submarine during the week. And then the views are immaculate. And then all the food is pretty shitty and overpriced. And if that ain't America, I don't know what is. But yeah, it was dope. I'd never gone parasailing or ziplining. Did them both. Baby. Went on there. Fucking the parasailing was intense. I'll tell you right now. I don't like heights. I didn't like parasailing. Didn't like it. It was like a 26-year-old kid trying to tell me that everything's gonna be fine. I'm like, you don't fucking talk to me like that, okay? Where were you when fucking 9/11 happened? Fucking 3 years old, sucking on your mom's titty. You know what I mean? I was 15, trying to learn how to finger fuck. So don't talk to me about parasailing. He's trying to tell me to get on the parachute is gonna go, and you just sit down and you don't stand up, or else you get a wedgie, shit like that. And they said, you guys want to get in the water? You don't want to get in the water. I said, I don't want to get in the fucking water. We go up 800 feet. I'm like, that's fine, right? I was at 200 feet. I was not okay. Not okay. I was going up past 400 feet. I was looking at my girl. I was like, this seems high enough. Can we communicate to them that this is high enough? 800 feet is a lot more than you'd think. I didn't like that at all. And then once you're up there, you're realizing, like, they said it was like 8 to 10 minutes or something. And then you're just in it. Then you're just fucking in it. And you kind of just got to chill. And I was not very chill up there. I didn't like it. I didn't like when the wind was swaying, moving the things. There's a lot of like metal friction that's going on when you're moving, and it sounded like something was gonna break. I didn't like the experience that much. The views were great, but don't put me that high over water. And then is there sharks? What's going on? Pretty stressed the whole time. And then we told them we didn't want to get in the water, so they're bringing us back in. And 26-year-old kid is like telling me what to do on the thing, and then the captain of the ship is some dude that's like 58. He's been doing this for fucking 30 years. Trust him with my life. But I just met him, so I don't know enough to know that I should trust him. And he's bringing us back in. Told him that we didn't want to go in the water. He said, well, if you end up starting to go into the water, you guys will just sink in there, and we'll come pick you up. And so we're going down, and dude, it looks like the boat is like not working, and we're being brought in. We're probably like 100 feet out, and then all of a sudden we start dipping towards the water, and the boat's not moving. I'm like, oh shit, I just bought these fucking shoes. I'm gonna get in the fucking water. Right before we get in, tell me why dude, either a seal or a shark or a fish or something jumped out of the fucking water right before we're like literally about to go into the water, and I'm freaking out. I'm like, this is not fucking cool at all. Like a foot before my feet go in the fucking water, this 58-year-old cocksucker with the fucking the captain of the boat just fucking turns on the jets, picks up speed. We fly back up. He was fucking with me the whole time. I don't fucking like that shit. Don't fuck with me like that. I've almost lost my shit. We're going to fucking die. I don't even know. I feel like a seal could still kill me. I've seen Arrested Development. They bit the fucking, Buster's whole hand off. Season 2. So that was fucking stressful. The whole thing was stressful. Overall, I'm kind of out on parasailing. And then we went ziplining. And ziplining was more fun. Again, I don't love heights, but I am also like somebody that if you give me enough information that I know I'm not going to die, I'll do the thing, and I'll try to enjoy it the most I can. And ziplining was better. I felt like I was in a good space. I didn't think I was too high up or anything like that. I trusted the process. So I did that. That was pretty fucking fun. There was like 5 zip lines. Once you hit the second and third one, the first one I was pretty stressed about, and then I saw a 7-year-old kid fucking fly off the thing before me. I was like, this fucking punk ass cocksucker. He's not gonna make me look bad in front of my girl. You know what I mean? So I manned up, did it. Yeah, by the second and third one, we were having fun. We were having a good time. So that was good. So I liked that. The zip lining was fun. And then Catalina Island. It's a crazy little place. You just go there. There's so much shit you can do in a day. They got buffaloes. We only want to hear a fucking American ass story. I guess they were trying to like shoot some like an OG movie was shot on the island like back in the 20s or 30s. It's a famous old movie, and there's a scene in there with a stampede of buffaloes, right? Or at least there was supposed to be. And so what they did was they brought like 15, 16 buffaloes over from the mainland onto the island. But what they didn't realize about buffaloes is something about like women will do certain things, but if you bring a bunch of men over, they're just like gonna run. They don't stay together. They just run solo. So they brought 16 male buffaloes over. They fucking let them off. All these motherfuckers run all different directions. They don't even get in the movie. All of a sudden, you just got 16 buffaloes running around Catalina Island because they did very little research on anything. And so now there's buffaloes on the island because what they did was eventually they realized that they had 16 male buffaloes over there. They realized why they didn't come together. And so they brought over like 10 female buffaloes, brought them on the island, end up getting to fucking. All of a sudden, you got like, over the years, they end up having like 200-300 buffaloes on the fucking island. They had to end up getting a bunch of them off. But those buffaloes might have it all figured out. They're living on Catalina Island, dude. There's like 100 or so of them fucking doing it, dude. Oh, but then that was the other fun fact, is they got so many buffaloes that they had to get some of them off the island. And so Catalina Island buffalo are the only species, I don't know if it's in the world, but definitely in America, that are on birth control. Because these motherfuckers just shooting up the club with these buffalo bitches, and they're not procreating at all. These male buffaloes on Catalina Island have the life, dude. It's just fucking hitting it raw, no consequences. These chicks are on birth control? You kidding me, dude? A birth control buffalo? So that's pretty dope. If I don't know where you stand on pro-choice, pro-life with species, but these buffaloes, they're strapped and wrapped. So good for them, living a good life. The other American thing I did this week, you guys will be happy to know that I went to see some films. As you know, I always do this. I had 2 different movie experiences that were pretty fun, actually. Last night, on a whim, I saw my girl like has been talking about we'd like to see like a movie. Excuse me. I'd like to see a movie on like a rooftop, and they got a bunch of rooftop options out here because the weather's nice. And so last night, I did some very light research, looked into it, and saw that they got a rooftop movie going on last night. So we went and saw Crazy Stupid Love outside on a rooftop experience. You got fucking headphones in. It's like a Bluetooth headphone in. It was fun. Nice little experience. Shout out to Ryan Gosling in 4K. That dude's fucking handsome as shit. Good ass little chick flick. It's not even a chick flick, dude. That's just a good movie. Funny, good movie. Obviously, it's going to appease to the women in your life. But, dude, I'm not opposed to looking at Ryan Gosling on the big screen for like 2 hours. You kidding me? It's a good looking dude. So, charming. Very charming. But I did go see the new movie this week that I did see Indiana Jones, the newest Indiana Jones, The Dial of Destiny, DOD. That shit was actually pretty fucking good. The only beef I have with this is Harrison Ford is just so old. He's so old. They did some CGI stuff to make him look younger in a couple of the scenes, and that always kind of bothers me because I'm always like, once you see it, you're like, this kind of pisses me off. But super fun movie, very much it felt like an old Indiana Jones type movie. James Mangold directed it. I trust him with almost anything. He's a very good director. He's done good things. Um, and this was no different. I enjoyed it. A lot of people were talking shit about it. I think they released it at the Cannes Film Festival in wherever that is in Europe somewhere, and they got bad reviews. But it's like that's not where that movie should be seen at all. This movie should be seen in fucking the middle of America by some fucking 40-year-old dudes that have been living their whole life with Indiana Jones as their hero. That's what it is. It's a good fucking movie. They go back to the Nazis are the enemy again. The best enemies ever. That's my favorite thing about Indiana Jones. They went, the first movie is Nazis are the enemy. The second movie, they're like, what about crazy people in India that rip hearts out in caves? And that didn't work at all. And then the third movie, they're like, let's go back to Nazis. And they have not wavered from that at all. So Nazis make the best enemy. We know that. So that was great. So vouch for the new Indiana Jones movie. If you like the first three Indiana Jones movie, we don't talk about the fourth one. You know that. And yeah, so I liked it. I liked it a lot. And then as we wind down, I did throw out options to get some questions from you guys from Instagram and shit like that. First question was, who is going to be your first guest on the pod? Circling the wagon on this. We've got somebody coming. I don't want to give names out just yet because I never know if the schedule is going to line up or not. But I do have somebody. I'm in conversation with somebody that's going to be a guest on the pod, so we're going to have that. I got to get some more equipment. I got to get another microphone and shit like that, so I'm going to get that stuff, and we're going to get more guests on the pod for sure. So I do want to do that for you guys. Somebody asked about Cincinnati sports young talent. If you've been listening to the podcast, I have been covering this. I fucking love it. The Reds have won 18 of 22 games. It's fucking amazing. We've got Ellie De La Cruz and Joe Burrow in the city of Cincinnati, and I think our soccer team is great. I don't want to talk about it too much because I've talked about it a lot on this podcast, but fucking Cincinnati. Let's fucking go. Somebody asked, has the gap between your eyebrows and your hairline always been so distant? What the fuck? What the fuck does that mean, bro? Hold up. I gotta look at my shit. Do I have a big ass forehead? Now I'm looking at the video. I don't know, bro. That's fucked up. Okay? But I've always been fine with the ladies, okay? So it hasn't fucking fucked me up too bad, you piece of shit. And then I don't know. You saying I got a big forehead? I also had to reread this. Has the gap between your eyebrows and your hairline always been so distant? He's saying I got a 5 head. And that's just mean, and I don't appreciate that. But yeah, I think it has. If you're asking if I'm losing my hair also, no, I'm not. I've got a great head of hair. We've been blessed with this in the Turner family. I don't know how. And yeah, it's full. I've never had a diet or anything like that. Fuck you. 10 things you would bring if you had to survive in the wilderness. I'd definitely bring a fleshlight. Get some nuts off. I'd bring, I'd try to bring a thing that would create Wi-Fi and a power source and a subscription to Pornhub. I'd be just covered in cum if you found me in the wilderness. After 2 months, you'd be like, this dude jacked off till he died. This is actually pretty depressing. But no, if I wanted to survive, that's a key word there. Because if I didn't want to survive, I'd just JO to death. If I did want to survive, yeah, I'd bring some. Dude, I watched whatever it's called, Survive or whatever that show is on Netflix. Dude, they got. You know what the key is that thing that starts the fire. Whatever the little device. It's like a stick or something like that to get a fire going. That's the key to everything. It's the key to survival for sure. You bring a knife. You bring some fucking rope. You bring some shit to create warmth in a tent or something like that, but also like some a fucking Hulk Hogan sleeping bag, something like that. You got to bring that type of shit. But the key is there's some people that are like, I don't need this thing that'll create fire. You do. You always fucking need that. So whatever that little fire stick is, get that shit. You're going to need fire. You're always going to need fire. Whoever doesn't bring that fucking dies. Or actually, they just get shipped off the island and camera crews pick them up because this shit ain't real. Shout out to the short story To Build a Fire, Jack London. And then what's the last question? Dating with an age gap. Why men can date younger but women can't. Interesting. I'm in a relationship right now where my girlfriend is younger than me by 9 years. And I think the nicest thing about that is I can, as you guys have noticed over the last several episodes, just let her know that she hasn't experienced great things in pop culture, and we're going to sit down tonight and watch Al Pacino and Robert De Niro in Heat. You know, shit like that. I like that. So that's an easy thing. Like, dating younger women for men, it does seem easier because I'm probably as mature as she is, and she's 27. You know what I mean? But I'm 36. We both think farts are still pretty funny. I think that's important. I don't know if a 36-year-old woman still thinks farts are hilarious. So, yeah, that's an easier thing, a man dating younger. I don't know. But also, previous relationships I've had, I've not dated super older, but I've dated older. I mean, they're only a year older, but they're like my age or older. That's something that I've done in the past. I do think about this, though. Like, I have a buddy that is, I think he's like late 20s or maybe, let's call him like 30. And he's dating a woman that's in her 40s. And so to counter this point, it does happen, but it doesn't happen a lot. And I do think that that's crazy on his end, even from my perspective. I'm like, because I don't know, you're going to be, in like 5-10 years, this person's going to be like in their 50s, and it's just a 50-something-year-old woman is just, I don't know if they're able to keep up with the needs of a 30-something-year-old man, or even a 40-year-old man. And I don't know if that's sexist or not. I don't know. I also think that men can be, I don't know. I guess from a lot of the perspective is men are pretty vain, and once a woman's looks go, the physical attraction goes away and shit like that. And that's pretty point blank. I don't know. That's like, that does make sense to me. Whereas I think if you're the same age, your looks are both kind of deteriorating at the same rate, or not your looks, but like kind of your physical attributes and shit like that. They're all kind of fading at the same rate. That makes more sense to me. So I don't know. I also don't think that women can't date younger men, at all ages. Like, if I was like 25, I would date a 35-year-old woman. But I don't know if I was like 30, I would date a 45-year-old woman, if that makes sense. It's different age brackets, because I'm now 36, and like women my age, they're wildly attracted to me. That's also something that happens as you get older. Like, women in their mid 30s and even into like 40, like, they're just so much more attractive to me, probably because I can speak the same language. There's no disconnect in the communication that we have and shit like that. So that definitely helps in how the attraction works and shit like that. But I think that the initial thing that I said, though, I think is kind of the thing is that a man that dates a younger chick, I mean, I think that we're just as mature as those younger chicks a lot of times. I also think like the cutoff for me is probably about 27. That age difference wouldn't, if it got any younger, I'd be completely disconnecting with these people. It'd be a lot like, that Steely Dan song, Hey 19. Who's Aretha Franklin? You know what I mean? They don't know who Aretha Franklin is in that song situation, and they have no real connection with these people. Luckily, my girlfriend now, she's 27, but she's the youngest of several kids that are all older and like my age or older. So a lot of the pop culture stuff is not lost on her because she was raised by these people that were already telling her a lot of this shit. So that's nice. So it's really kind of, it's a maturity thing. I definitely think like a 30-year-old dude dating a 45-year-old woman, there's going to be a huge change in maturity. And also, you know, I don't know. A lot of the dudes that date younger women, they can be pretty vain too, like the Leonardo DiCaprios of our world. Like, we know what he's doing. We know what's going on. He's also in a situation where he's got a lot of leverage in that situation. If he wants to do that, he can fucking do that. He's Leonardo DiCaprio. Jack Nicholson made a whole life doing shit like that. So, but I don't know. I don't know. To answer your question, why men can do it, but women can't, it sounds like you're dealing with something where you want to bang young boys. And because this is a question from a female. And you know what? Put it out there. Let these young boys know you know what the fuck is going on. I think you could definitely fuck younger men. I don't know if you could date them long term, but a lot of these dudes, you can show them a thing or two. Let's say you're about my age. I'd say you're about mid-30s, something like that, dude. Go fucking put it on a 25-year-old. You know what they're going to do? They're probably not going to date you long term, but they're going to think about you. And they're going to always remember. So put it down for them one time. See what happens. You know? Just have some fun. But yeah, I don't think dating long term. I don't know if you. The other thing is, like, if you're a 35-year-old woman, do you want to date a 25-year-old dude? Those are the worst dudes in the world. I would be the worst boyfriend in the world to a 35-year-old woman when I was 25. So that's also another thing to consider. Like, I don't even think it's a thing that doesn't make sense in society. I think it's just 25-year-old dudes are the fucking worst. These guys are trash. I was trash. They're all trash. So, you know, something to consider. But either way, whether you're dating a younger woman, dating a younger man, fucking somebody that's 12 years older than you, whatever you're doing out there, just know that next week, Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning is coming out. And everything's going to be right in the world. So, I already hear the fucking fireworks going off outside on my end. I hope you guys had a happy July 4th and you were fucking safe out there and you got fucked up with your friends and you ate a good hot dog, but more importantly, a good ass fucking burger. God bless America. God bless you guys. Keep on listening. Hoping next week I can get actually next week I'm going to go to Austin. So this next couple of weeks I have a lot of travel going on. So I'm trying to get a guest on one of these, but also I have a lot of like stuff that I got to work around schedule-wise. So hoping I can get a guest on here soon, but at the end of the day, I'm still going to be doing some cool travel and stuff like that. I'm going to be in Austin soon doing a bunch of shows. And then after that, I'll be in Colorado, Fort Collins at the Comedy Fort. Come to that show if you can, if you're in Colorado. And then, still working out some things for the fall. I will be announcing that as soon as all these dates are locked in, and I'm super excited for that. If you guys are going to fuck with that for sure. So, appreciate you guys. Happy July 4th. Holla at your boy.